am a cancer survivor, but I really am much more than a cancer survivor, and I want to tell you some of that story. I see myself as a leader of spiritual and creative and physical expression, hopefully with some humor. I've done a lot in my life. I'm 70. Wow. And I've taught and lived in West Africa for almost 5 years. Oh. I adopted a child in Washington, D.C. who just got married in New York after the equal marriage was passed. I've demonstrated for peace and justice. And I have a wonderful spouse, Henry, right over here, filming me for my naturopath. So I've had a full life, great full life. This is my recovery story. 7 years ago, I was a retired teacher, and my husband, Henry, and I had just sold our home, and we had our first grandchild. We have a whole bunch now. Older step-grandchildren and 5 little ones. But to go back to 7 years ago, I also had a cancerous tumor in my endometrium, which is the lining of what was then my uterus. And so we scheduled a radical hysterectomy. Oh. And I started a blog, and I asked all my family and friends, all my loved ones, to wrap me in a virtual pink blanket of love. And I also wrote out positive affirmations for my anesthesiologist to read while I was in surgery. And 3 weeks later, Henry and I were dancing at our son's wedding. So that was awesome. That was a great, it felt like, wow, I did this. And I felt as if I was living life right, and I escaped a bad nightmare. Well, but 3 months later, tumors returned, and they had metastasized to my subcutaneous abdominal tissue, and I was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic cancer. So I hadn't escaped that. And so this is what I did. This is what helped me heal. First, I stopped taking hormone replacement therapy. I really believed that was a chemical that my body didn't need. I had 3 consults with OBGYN oncologists. 2 of them said, this shouldn't have happened. We don't really know what to do. And these were cancer centers, well-known cancer centers in New York. But the 3rd one was referred to me by, or I was referred to him by a good friend who was a surgeon, and she had worked with him and said, you must see him. He really is, he knows what he's doing. And so I saw Dr. Kulos at Beth Israel, and he and his treatment partner said, no, we can do this. You can live with this. We're going to start chemotherapy. But I knew that I needed to do more than that. So I began researching on the internet, and macrobiotics kept coming up. Oh. And I remembered from my hippie days in the 60s, the macrobiotics, but I hadn't really practiced it, except for, eating brown rice and oatmeal and lots of veggies. But this really spoke to me. So I told my loved ones that I was going to begin practicing macrobiotics. I really believed that it would help me. And another friend of mine who had been practicing for quite a while, many years, for some other conditions, said, you have to have a counselor. So she referred me to Denny Waxman in Philadelphia, and I began seeing him. Henry, my spouse, and my daughter, Malika, the one who was just married, went with me everywhere. That was really, really important. I realize now I have tons of notes that I probably wouldn't have and wouldn't remember, even though Denny's scribe took lots of notes when I was seeing him. Just to have them there and eating the foods that I was eating and doing the body rubs with me and all the good stuff that macrobiotics offers definitely helped. I kept blogging to my family and friends and telling them what was happening with me, and I did a lot of meditation and prayer. So the tumor started shrinking very early, really after the first chemo, and the doctors were pretty amazed at that, and I really believe that that was because I was practicing macrobiotics. But I think, I'm really realizing that macrobiotics is a lifelong commitment. It's definitely more than what I eat. It's what I eat, I think, has opened me to growing and continuing to heal. Though I've been told I'm cured of cancer, that I continue to need to grow and heal spiritually and physically and emotionally, and I'm doing that. Henry and I found Dr. Lori Gilman, a naturopath and macrobiotic counselor in New York, and I've been with her, seeing her regularly for 5.5 years, and we really click. So that's been very helpful. I also kept my blog going, so it's if you ever want to take a look at it, it's Jaki's JKIS lifeaftercancer.com. And I work with Brooklyn for Peace. We do, and just having fun, and most of all, laughing. Lots of laughing, and we did some good belly laughs this morning at our going. And I'm very thankful every day to be enjoying life every day and all its ups and downs and the fullness of it. And I'm really thankful to be at the Kushi Institute for the first time, because I know that it's informed my practice so much. So thanks to everybody for listening to me, and thanks, Good evening, everyone.